You know, the glamour and the glitz of show business can be summed up in one word, Ali.
What's that?
Largs. But I know what you're thinking. Who are we going to get to interview in Largs whose first name isn't Jimmy or Jeanette and whose second name isn't Cranky?
Well, what about Craig Brown, Leslie Grantham, or Kylie Minogue?
We've got Kylie Minogue in Largs.
Well, we couldn't get George to turn up in Aberdeen. You think we've got a chance of Kylie turning up in Largs?
There's only one way to find out. Dun dun dun!
Hey everybody, everybody, hey everybody, everybody.
Welcome to McCoist MacAulay. This week we're coming to you from Viking Garden Largs.
Well, as you know, this is the second show. We're delighted so many of you watched the first show. But the one thing that's come out is people keep asking us what the George Best sketch, was it for real? You've got to believe me, it genuinely was for real. It was Fred and I that weren't for real. Lightning, I'm afraid, Fred has struck twice in the one place because one of our guests has not turned up. So people out there watching, in the Largs area, spots Jack Nicholson, please point him in the direction of the Viking guy.
I'm descended from a Viking myself. I went back and traced my ancestry, Ali, and Macaulay is the Scottish name, right? Mac is Scottishism for son of. Ollie, get this, is what the Scottish people pronounce for Olaf. I'm descended from a 10th century Viking called Olaf, who, get this, left Norway in the 10th century to go and find a better life for him and his family, and he settled in the Outer Hebrides. Well, what a go-getter old Olaf must have been. All the other Vikings are off pillaging in East Anglia, and they're going, hey, it's Norfolk this weekend, Olaf, you coming? No, no. The Outer Hebrides for me. Oh, we like the rain here. Honest, descended from a Viking, hence the sort of 6-foot blonde features that Gill had I was dreaming about last night. But if you were to draw a line geographically from Norway to the Outer Hebrides, if you had missed the Outer Hebrides, do you know where the next stop is? Jamaica.
Jamaica?
That's where I should have been brought up. Raised on ganja and not porridge. Which is soggy and difficult to light. And frankly not worth the bother. Now let's crack on, because our first guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he's best known on TV for playing the bad guy now and again. He's often on screen, and most recently he was the chief superintendent in the ITV series The Uninvited. But for my money, he's best known as Britain's best known barman. Behind the bar, giving drinks on the arse in Britain's favourite rub-a-dub-dub. Will you please welcome, he was Dirty Den, he is now Leslie Grantham.
Leslie, you've become one of the toughest actors on screen today, and you've got a girl's name.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit like fat blokes playing football.
I feel like a lamb to the slaughter here. I mean, you have played the baddie a lot of the times, and even when you played a cop, you were a bad cop. Is that just the way it goes? I mean, do you go up for goody roles, or do you just prefer to play bad guys?
No, I mean, I think the way I look, that you're not going to cast me as a homosexual vicar, are you?
No, it's not yet. Not yet, it's early.
No, no, I just think that I just fit that role, really, that, you know, when you're at home and, you know, I do the washing and the ironing and the hoovering, and when I get out acting, I like to be nasty, really.
When did you decide that you wanted to become an actor? Was it when your mates at school shoved you in goals at football?
It actually was, because I was quite a good footballer, but you're a lot...
So was I.
Yeah. In fact, Craig was saying that earlier. But I wasn't a bad footballer, really, and... but it was about that time when it's probably your time, but we had those dreadful leather balls, if I don't know if people remember those, with the laces, and...
No, they've cured up, thanks.
Yeah. And it was about the time I was going out with girls, and I played centre-half, and I used to head the ball a lot, and my first day I got out of the bath, and I looked in the mirror, I had these sort of crosses of Lorraine on my head, and I thought, as heading the ball, I thought, no, football no more, it's girls, and then I didn't do very well with girls, so I became an actor.
Now, I mentioned at the start that you were on as Chief Superintendent in The Uninvited, which I assume is a series about your in-laws coming round at Christmas.
Yep. Or George Best.
Or George Best. Right. Well, that would be a good show, wouldn't it? The Invited, and just Ali and I sitting like this.
No, I know for a fact it was about an alien invasion, wasn't it?
Yep.
Do you believe in aliens?
Well, I actually used to believe that. I used to think they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you never see aliens eating. And when do Jehovah's Witnesses always turn up? When you're having lunch.
There's an area of Scotland that has been... You know what I'm talking about, don't you? An area of Scotland that has been visited by aliens. Have you heard of Bonnybridge?
No.
Bonnybridge, honest to goodness, there's aliens coming to Scotland week in, week out, and they're always going to Bonnybridge, right? And we're enlarged tonight because it's safe. The aliens won't come here. But somebody said, you're going to come to Bonnybridge. We couldn't take a TV show to Bonnybridge because they'd all be sitting in the audience going, look at the lights. Look at that, Margaret, they've come back.
Well, I've got to ask you about Dirty Den. Because, see, when you walk behind the bar at the Queen Vic, did George ever come in?
George Best. No, I'll tell you he did. I'll tell you he did. We had Frank McAulay in there one night.
Another thing you quoted as saying, when you were at the height of the popularity of Dirty Den, you said, and I quote you, right, that you could put a baboon's arse on television and 30 million people would tune in to see what happened next week.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think in one week we had 84 million people watch EastEnders, and someone said it was down to an East for Night, and I said basically, you know, I felt that the way television was and the way, you know, with the Sun newspaper, that if you put a picture of a baboon's arse on telly at 7:30 at night and put the same picture of a baboon's arse on the Sun newspaper, you get 30 million people watching it.
Well, I mean, we've
kept it going though, haven't they?
We had great ratings last week on our first show.
You had 1.5 million, didn't you?
Yeah, but we'll do anything to get more ratings. So have we got a baboon's arse we can call up? There we are, excellent. Sorry, I've just heard we've booked him for show 3. You're actually not from the East End of London yourself, originally from the South London.
Yeah.
But I mean, you went to the East End, and it's got its own special kind of lingo. So we wanted to try you out with some East End expressions, okay? So here you are. Here's your first one. Corned beef.
Corned beef. Teeth.
No, that's deef.
Deef.
Might be a slightly Scottish slant in that one.
Right. I've got one. What if you were on holiday and somebody came up to you and said, gee whiz mate, Mascot Pooders are Batman and Robin?
I'd say that they were smoking the porridge that he was trying to earlier.
That actually means I've had too much sun, my shooters are throbbing.
Really?
Yeah.
What was a J. Arthur rank?
Well, it's a film studio, and it's what footballers do in the bath after a match.
Well, Leslie, thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, great.
Don't want you to disappear completely. We want you to join us for a couple of Mick Jaggers and a big Vera Lynn in the rub-a-dub-dub. So if you just nip up the apples and pears, we'll join you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Grantham. Thanks a lot.
Our next guest is of course... Nah, I think I'll keep him sitting down for a wee while.
Oh, he was nearly up there. Did you see that? Our next guest, he was like tacky bottoms down.
It's not nice, is it? Anyway, when Fred and I travel all over Scotland with this wonderful job we've got, we like to sample the local hospitality, which is normally the local boozer. But when they're in Largs, there's only one place to go.
Shall we?
I think we should.
I mean, we're in Largs after all.
Yeah, let's
What
walk
else
in.
would you do?
Come on.
How many have you got altogether?
30.
Sounds about right. Tough choice, so. We'll have them all.
Okay.
Excellent. How'd you do that? What? Just when I'm excited about ice cream. Oh, beautiful. Loving it. Ali, what would you do if Kylie Minogue said, come on up to my hotel room with some ice cream?
Me, Kylie, and ice cream.
Me, Kylie, oh, Bruno, we've got the delightful Kylie Minogue on the show.
Well, hey, where'd you get the tickets? Free totty.
That's a Scottish word for potato.
No, it's not. It's a Scottish word for totty. So, I tell you, we've got Kylie Minogue on the show tonight, right?
Is it?
Aye. If you had one question to ask Kylie, what do you think you'd ask her?
How about a night out? It is more of a men's thing, isn't it, Kylie?
No, why should she be more of a man's thing?
She's trim and she's fit and she's pretty.
Well, I'm trim and I'm fit. And I think I'm pretty.
Oh, look at those eyes. What a honey.
You're coming too close, fella.
That's a very attractive bogey going out his left nostril. Is that just a Sunday bogey, is it?
Me, Kylie, and ice cream. Me, Kylie, and ice cream. Do you think she'd really want ice cream, though?
Yeah, she's from Australia. It's very hot there. Why don't you like ice cream?
Huh? I wonder what she thinks of Largs.
Fred, you've got a wee bit in your chin. A wee bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Embarrassing.
That's you, that's fine. Am I okay?
You're fine.
Kylie will think, I mean, what do you think she'll think of Largs?
Okay, I think she'll be very, very chuffed. Right? She's very nice, very rock and roll, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a small scale, you know what I mean? It's just nice and relaxing.
Have you been at a Motorhead reunion last night, no?
No, mate, no, I was just a bit
You look like Lemmy.
rough, aye.
You look like Lemmy. Could you give us a wee bit of the Ace of Spades, you know?
If you want to gamble, I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me.
Largs is really a place for retired people, people who want a quiet life.
Right, so maybe in
I
a
would
couple of
think
years'
Kylie
time,
Minogue would be looking for something.
a bit more pizzazz. Yeah, she's looking for someplace like
Yes.
Ardrossan, isn't she?
Oh, Ardrossan.
Something with a bit of spark.
That's probably even more boring.
Do you like her music?
Yeah,
Do you like her as an actress?
I've not seen any of her films.
Do you like her pouting lips?
Not really, do you?
I mean, if you were hanging about and you saw her, what would you ask her?
What a date.
You go with me?
You go out with me?
Like to go with me?
Do you want to go out with me?
You go out with me?
I couldn't eat another spoonful. I'm going to have to borrow guys' shots at the weekend.
I'm beat. I couldn't get another ice cream as long as I live.
Do you want to go back to the hotel and lie down?
Aye, come on.
Come on.
Stuffed.
Oh, excuse me. Your special guest would like some passion fruit ice cream, stand up.
Quick.
Fine, how's mine?
Hi guys, room service. I have to say, about 10 minutes to go, so that's about right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Craig Brown. So how are you, you lovely man?
I am well, but you have to play a bit better before we consider you for France.
Well, I was going to say to you, do you realise... do you realise out of the last international squad that travelled to France, I was the only one to score last weekend?
I remember that. I remember that.
I can see it's going to do me a lot of good, eh?
I know.
Get Leslie Grantham back, where is he?
Well, Craig, I have taken the mickey out of Scotland in the past, and I apologise for that because, you know, I used to make gags about not qualifying for the latter stages. In fact, I used to say Craig Brown once looked up the dictionary for the word quarter-finals and it said something that other people do. But congratulations to you. We have qualified for France 98. Well done. Now, for somebody the likes of me want to plan my next summer, is this the time we're going to get into the latter stages?
Well, I would hope so. The problem is we've got an ageing striker around the squad. If we can adequately replace him, we might have a chance. But seriously...
that jury's got a lot to answer for, eh?
Seriously, we do hope that we'll have a wee chance this time, depending on the draw.
I mean, your record's great. I mean, Euro 96, we didn't get into the next stages, but I mean, we acquitted, and I'm saying we, as if I was playing, right? We, right? I mean, Scotland did really well, acquitted ourselves well. We've qualified for France 98. Is this, I mean, you really could put your two fingers up to your critics, couldn't you?
Well, we're trying to. I think we've got a good spirit about the squad. Everyone acknowledges that, and they're far better players than people give them credit for being. There are one or two exceptions, of course. But they are good, and they're totally committed to the cause of Scotland, and that's the main thing about the team.
Yeah.
You think Euro 96, highs and lows, obviously, Craig. Gary's low, or our low. Gary missing the penalty against England, do you think?
I think so. I think everyone agrees we were ahead in points in that game. But Terry Venables made a quite correct statement. He said a boxer who's ahead in points, if he gets knocked out, he loses the fight. Yeah. So we were definitely ahead, I felt, and Gary was desperately unfortunate.
I've got to say, running this, getting stuck in the next squad for a minute, I thought you handled the situation brilliantly with all the players, and Gary, as you know, went to do the television that night. There was squad of 22, and there was about 19 of us went to the bar for a drink that night, as you know, a couple of Diet Pepsis and stuff like that. And Gary wouldn't come down because he wanted to go on television. And as you can imagine, he was totally distraught. I mean, he really was upset. And I was rooming with Gary, and he came back from the television performance, and we said to him, you know, come on down to the bar and have a drink. And he was upset, and I said, come on. Well, I forgot about it in the morning. But
you're right, he was really upset, but one thing that this tells you about the spirit in the group, because when the taxi that brought him back, he did all the interviews. Now, many a player would have ducked out and said, no, I'm in a downer, but he was man enough to do all the interviews. When the taxi came back and he came into, we'll say the lounge, not the bar, please.
Yeah, lounge.
Right. When he came into the lounge, the chant went up, all the players, Gary, Mike, Gary, Mike. And I thought, that tells you something about respect they have for their captain.
It was magnificent, it was, I must admit.
That was Gary's low point. Your low point must have been when Ali scored and he came over and kissed you.
That was.
Are you not worried about taking him to France in case he scores and gives you a French kiss? Now, you've got two brothers.
Yeah, I have two brothers. I'm only going to admit to one of them, though.
Now, your brother Jock and yourself involved in football, I mean, at the very highest level in Scotland, one of you. And but what instilled the love of the game in the Brown household?
Well, I don't really. I think, you know, if you're a young lad in Scotland and you're brought up in Lanarkshire, it's football, isn't it? And we were lucky enough, we get football and golf as our sports, and we were encouraged. My father said, you know, if you're a Scotch boy, you get stuck into the football and the golf, and that was, I think, why we became interested in the game.
It must have been brilliant, though, because, I mean, you and Bob could have sat and played Subbuteo as kids, and Jock could have done the commentary. Did you ever?
we couldn't afford Subbuteo. It was blow football.
Was it? Well, I know Jock would be good at that.
And I mean, talking about all joking aside, is it right he's got a bad back?
No, I actually think he's got 2 bad backs and a dodgy centre forward. I've got to ask you if we go back to the Scotland squad though, Craig. I mean, we've got Burley, we've got Hopkins, Leighton and Gorham. I mean, are these guys only in the squad so you look good in the team photograph? I mean, have a look at Big Hoppy. Big Hoppy could chew an apple through a letterbox.
I think I should tell you about Burley. He told us when he was playing for Chelsea, we were playing Arsenal, and he was given the instructions to deal with Mr. Bergkamp, which he was doing rather aggressively. And the referee called him over and said, number 8, one more tackle like that and you will be joining your teeth in the dressing room.
Well, we're running right out of time, Craig, so I take it'll be au revoir, Craig.
I think for you, Ali, it'll be cheerio, Alistair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Brown.
Well, I don't think we'll offend either of our first 2 guests when I say that we have saved the best looking for last. A lady who's been mentioned many times in the show already. She needs no further introduction, which is just as well because I haven't written one. It's Kylie Minogue!
Eat your heart out, McCoist.
It's awfully sore.
How
was it for you?
Oh, it's better.
Yeah, put it up there.
Oh, it's better.
There we go. Okay.
Thanks very much.
I'll come back. I couldn't...
You're looking you're looking very un-Craig Brown and Leslie Grantham-like.
Really?
Do you like football?
Don't know a great deal about football.
Oh, you're going well then. If I'm pushing my luck, just tell me. You've got a new single out, Kylie. Did it again.
Yeah.
What was it you did that was so good you want to do it again? And can you show us?
Things.
And can you do it with us again?
But would it be as good as the first time?
Never is.
Yeah.
Never is, but what an effort I'll put in. We are, of course, only joking. We've got a little bit of your video and we're going to love watching it. Here we go.
Those images there in the video, I mean, that's you from stages throughout the last 10 years that you've been in the business. Was it easy to look back and pick out those images?
It wasn't so easy to convince my stylist that he couldn't put me in a red rah-rah skirt and give me the scrunch hairdo again. But once we got past that, yeah, it's just, it was quite nice. I mean, to choose 4 characters, it took a little while to define them, but it was good fun, yeah.
Now, Kylie, you're quoted as saying that you've spent the first 10 years of your career pretending. I mean,
I was?
Yeah, well, what is the real Kylie then? What did you mean?
I probably said something like that, and yeah, there was a time very early on that a part of it was like pretending, going straight from acting in a soap into being part of the PWL Hit Factory. There was no time to evolve, really. It was just being put on the production line and doing what you were told to do. And so within that, I had to try and grow up and find myself. And
So what is the real Kylie? I mean, have you found the real Kylie?
no, I'm still looking. It
Yeah?
doesn't ever... It's kind of hard doing it in public. I mean...
It's strange, because I would have thought it's got to be hard doing it in public.
really put my foot in that.
You did?
Yeah. Well, you know what
But
I
we
mean
thank you
anyway.
for it.
I'm sure you do know what I mean.
We're never above a bit of innuendo here, I'll tell you. I mean, you're working with the people who are at the top end of the business. The Manic Street Preachers, Nick Cave. It's fantastic.
I'm just astounded, constantly astounded that it has been 10 years and I've had all these opportunities and they keep coming and working with such brilliant people. Because I think normally people, the public tend to feel the need to categorize you and pigeonhole you. So, you know, I can't believe that they've allowed me to make all these different changes in 10 years.
But that must only be because you've got the talent to do it.
I hope so. Yeah.
You sick. What is that like? Well, Kelly, you've got your album coming out in January, is that right?
Yeah.
Do you think you're trying to appeal to a different type of audience now, or...?
I'm not exactly sure who it is I'm targeting the album towards. I'm just trying to do something that was honest, and it's the first time I've done a lot of writing, so it's basically a representation of whatever we came across within that 2-year period that we made the album. So it's probably people my age and around that. But I love the fact that I can have a 5-year-old fan and an 85-year-old fan, you know, that there is that broader spectrum because of Neighbours and being in the tabloids and all of that kind of thing. But I'm looking forward to the challenge of putting together a show with the new material, and I would be doing I Should Be So Lucky in Locomotion, and there's a certain amount of irony that I can incorporate in those, which I already have done on a couple of occasions, so it's brilliant.
So you're going to do a show touring the album once the album's out?
I hope so, next year.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
You're going to come back to Largs?
I might be in this very venue.
You'd all come, wouldn't you?
Now, I've got to say that I know, and again, it's maybe a misquote, but if you ever want to start a family, and I know you've been thinking about it, I would remind you that Scottish men are 25% more fertile than any other nation.
Really?
Really, yes. It's a little
No, he's just made it up,
Because I've got 3 kids, and the last time my wife got pregnant, I wasn't even in the room. I just threw my pants in and said, help yourself. Kylie, on next week I'm going to get the cast off my leg, and I wouldn't let anybody else sign it. Will you sign it?
He won't
for
get
me?
a smile off his face, but he'll get a cast off his leg.
Just sign anything you like on it.
Okay.
In fact, put your middle name on it as well. He's enjoying that.
0171.
There we go.
Thanks very much.
Well, Kylie, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks very much for coming. Really appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Be sure to join us again next week when we're at Melrose Rugby Club, and we're going to be joined by Caroline Patterson and Claire Grogan, more people from EastEnders. Also Alistair McGowan and John Parrott. In the meantime, thanks for joining us. Good night.
Come on.